What's going on, everyone? Today I want to give you a shop tour, a little behind the scenes, a little update of what's going on at Boundless Racing HQ. So let's get right into it. We got the door. I'm sure you guys remember the door. I don't know if you've even watched the good old, shop video of me unveiling the place. If you haven't, you definitely should. But the place is definitely worked in now. As you can see, there's stains on the floor from coolant of ACs and all that good stuff. And, things are happening, which is optimal to say the least. Big update, got a speaker, little clip speaker. I could plug a microphone into here. It's pretty sick. It's Bluetooth speaker, so that's also sick, but blast some beats while I'm working. And as you can see, I have monitors, I have things that I'm doing. So currently, these two builds are our legacy turnkeys for Boundless Racing, which is the top of line. Depending on the package you go for, it's around $30,000 per package. I mean, the screens themselves is like $5 grand, $5,500 of 45-inch LG OLED awesomeness. That's gonna go on both of these with some Logitech surround sound, as you can see there, some Z906 stuff. But yeah, as we can see, let's just move through the shop a little bit, show what's going on. So we have these two builds. We have a few more builds going on right now, which is super awesome. So these two legacies, we're contracted here for 4, so gonna have 2 more after this. This is the whole setup we're going with. They're gonna have sawbelt seats, which is really cool. Sawbelt Titan Max seats, big boy seats. Very nice. For all 4, they're gonna be in a public space, so they're gonna be used by multitudes of people, different sizes. So we went with a seat that's kind of like for the big boys, the big guys. Anywho, pedals, Husingfeld Ultimate Pluses, really nice pedals. As you can see here, we went with the silver finish instead of the black, but I love these pedals. I think they should be the baseline. I think they are the baseline for sim pedals, in my opinion. Like, Husingfeld dropped these, and then everyone else started making similar versions of these because they're that good. They got the little controller here, that sort of thing. Bass is gonna be, I'll go back here and show you actually. I don't think that showed my address. It didn't. Wonderful. So Asetek Invicta 27 Newton meter bases. I really like the Asetek stuff, ladies and gentlemen. Really like it. I know I've been very bullish on the SimMagic stuff, but if you're looking for something a little more high-end, something that's a little more powerful but just as crystal clear as the SimMagic stuff, 100% would recommend the Asetek Invicta if you got the cheddar for it. Really solid wheelbases. Absolutely love them. Next up, we got 2 of these guys, GSI X29s. I'm not gonna open it. Never mind. We're gonna abandon that idea. And then Asetek Forte button box with a round wheel. And then these packages here are actually Pimax crystal lights. So this public space that these are going to be in, he wanted to try both the screens and the VR. So I was like, I mean, sure. You may or may not like the VR. Personally, I don't like VR because I get sick, but that's just me. So then here we have spare stuff, spare SimMagic stuff, spare Visa mounts, spare metal, spare goods like, USB hubs, power strips, keyboards from pre-builds, and wire management clips and all that good stuff. And then here we have some of the show stuff that we do. We go to a lot of car shows, so this is some of the goods here. This right here, this little corner, this is actually for this sim. What I was gonna do, I was gonna make like some dramatic, like, oh, I made my friend like his dream sim setup, XYZ, blah 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 blah. And I was like, it's kind of corny. I really don't want to. Essentially what I'm doing with this setup, I'm helping a buddy out who helps me with a lot of shows. He's gonna help me also build it, just to get some experience building like aluminum extrusion stuff. So chassis is an ASR3 with a SimMagic Alpha Evo Sport wheelbase. Then a leftover monitor stand from a company we don't talk about. It's gonna be a single monitor, single 34, like right there. So super pumped for this. Just helping a buddy out. Probably just gonna put Moza stuff on it. Moza handbrake, Moza shifter, maybe Moza pedals. We'll see if they fit and how I can, you know, screw them down. Maybe I'll upgrade them to Simagic stuff. It's, you know, helping a buddy out, that sort of thing. Over here, what we got over here? Wheel decks for the ASR Pros here, where the Invictas are gonna go. These are supposed to also have motion from, we're gonna talk about them later, but Vero Motion, good company we're starting to work with. But they are not here yet. Other thing we got, important thing here, gotta have a thermometer. The humidity is a little higher than I want it to be, which isn't great, and it's 80 in here, which is, you know, average. This area used to be very clean. It's very worked in now, which, you know, will happen. Mobile AC unit. It's very old. Got it from my pops. Thank you, pops, for the AC unit. I mean, it works. It condenses pretty bad and leaks out of this little thing. So we got a Home Depot bucket to not flood the shop, because that definitely happened once where we had a little flood mishap, but perfectly fine in that sorts. And then we'll walk over here past these monitor stands, and these are Visa mounts, the brown boxes behind, if you're wondering. Where am I looking at? This dehumidifier. It rains here in Atlanta, and it gets kind of humid in a warehouse space, so decided to get a dehumidifier in order to pull the humidity out. Once this humidity marker hits 60, I get a little worried, just because of, you know, electronics and that sort of thing. I haven't had any issues. It's just a precaution thing, to be honest with you. I honestly rather be safe than sorry, and I hope, you know, every company that does something similar to me is the same, where they're rather safe than sorry, pull humidity out of the air, just in case any electronic mishaps happen. But you gotta also think, the electronics that you buy, usually they ship over on a boat from Europe or China or other parts of the world, and so they have to sustain humidity. The, you know, corrosion of electronics due to humidity isn't really a big factor anymore, just because of all the exporting they do. But over here, again, this is all like current stock stuff. That we have some wire management stuff and, you know, cable management. And then over here we got the trusty old trash can. Gotta love a good trash can. And then we have some old stuff in the back, some old monitors that I don't know what to do with, an old PC, and some monitor arms from the Ultra Gear that I built before, another 45, and it's just sitting there. I'll probably just throw them away. But these 4 boxes are important because they're for our demo sim. Oh yeah, also I got a door sticker, which is pretty sick. I'll put a photo up. It's really, really cool. Shout out to my boy Zach out here in Atlanta for making it for me. But super sick, gives all our info, and it allows me to be on Google, which is the important thing. So in this corner we have my desk. It's very small, got it for 40 bucks at Target. Same with the chair, it's kind of uncomfortable. We got some wires, fix that. It's just chargers. I'm currently charging another camera battery. That's what that light means down there. Then we have a little sitting area, a little lounge. Would like to put a TV up, but again, we just don't have a lot of room. Wouldn't mind it though, for, you know, people who come in, maybe they want a consultation or something, to put it up on the TV or whatever. We got a little rug as well, got off of Amazon. Very, very clutch there. But this wall is still very blank, along with this wall and this wall. I've thought about putting art up on these walls. I just don't really know where to start. If I go to Etsy or whatever. If you're an artist or you know someone who makes like car related art or even like custom art, hit me up. I'll put my email in the description. I've said hit me up multiple times. Just hit up my email, and I'd love to see, you know, what your artwork is and maybe purchase some. Or if you're gracious enough to give me some, but I don't expect that out of anyone. But would love to decorate this place, furnish it a little bit, make it less echoey, as you could hear, have something, you know, that speaks to the car people, to be soulful, I guess we could say. The important bit, the demo sim. So the demo sim has been upgraded, as you can see. First off, PC upgraded to a Ryzen 7 78, actually no, Ryzen 7 9800X3D with a 5070 graphics card, pristine, wonderful. Monitors also upgraded. We got triple 34-inch ultra wides. Want to try out the 34s. Love the triple 32, still my go-to. Really just trying this to see how I like it. I'm like indifferent about it at this point. Don't really love it, don't really hate it. It's just eh. Then we got the sim itself. It's good old baby blue still. It's a baby blue ASR4 that I custom painted. I'm honestly gonna upgrade this again. I know, I like change everything about this all the time. It's gonna have an Asetek Invicta wheelbase. It's gonna have a different steering wheel. Gonna upgrade the pedals and the shifter at some point. But first things first, putting in Asetek Invicta wheelbase and then making this base an ASR Pro. Just gonna go back to black. Don't know what I'm gonna do with this blue. I have an idea on what I'm gonna do with the blue sim. I just need to see if it makes sense. Good news, we have a new motion partner. We got Motion Twin, ha ha ha. But yeah, we're working with this company called Vero Motion. They're out of Canada, and they make super solid motion systems. So this motion system is called the Champion GT. It's a 4-inch actuator movement system, 3 degrees of freedom, roll, pitch, and heave, the normal 3. And I've loved it so far. I've done a good bit of testing, taken it to an event already. Really love how much travel you get and how the haptics are. They could be better, but they're improving it over software, which is awesome. I just like the movement and extra feel. It's not like numb feeling, but it feels really good. It's like more than a D-Box, and it's not like distracting because the actuator movement is fast enough to keep up with all the movement, so there's not any delay, and it just, you know, moves and gives you the feedback that you need and feels like you're being in an actual car, which is pretty sick. And not to mention, it's cheaper than D-Box. D-Box Gen 5 4 actuator setup is $82.50. all said and done with brackets, which is kind of nuts. This, $6,500, and you get double the travel, more than double the travel, which is really cool. You can actually get the Champion, which is 3 inches, and actually double the travel for less than that. I think it's $5,500 or $5,000, don't quote me on that, but a decent bit cheaper, which is really cool. But that about does it for what's happening in my humble little warehouse here at Boundless Racing. And I'm gonna be honest, gentlemen and ladies out there, I'm very grateful and I'm happy at the place that we're at. As with anything, you always strive for more, but recently, I wanna say in like the past couple weeks, I've really taken the time to kind of just sit and be grateful and appreciative in the moment and be like, hey, you know, we've gone far and I've done a decent bit, and I'm incredibly grateful for everyone who supports me, all the amazing partners we work with, and everything in between in order to make these things happen. Sometimes you just get so caught up in wanting to just strive and go to the next level, which, you know, I always am, but sometimes you do have to appreciate what you have in the moment in order to level up to the next place you want to go to, or the next goal, or the next whatever, you know? And that could be for anything in life. Just sometimes be grateful for what you have and what you've accomplished so far, and not be so strung up on the future and the what ifs and how can I get to this and et cetera, you know? Sorry to get all philosophical on you there, but I think it's been important, and, you know, I felt it. I want to share it with you guys and kind of express my, you know, gratitude towards things, what we've done, etc. But yeah, so the plan is to continue to grow this. I need to start making more content. Thankfully, we're going to have some harder hitting staff members, if you get what I'm saying. So people who are working here longer, not just coming in and out, You're gonna be on payroll, which is pretty cool, helping build the sims. I'm still gonna be involved in the build process, mainly quality control, which is super sick. At the end of the day, the goal with Boundless Racing is to continue being genuine and, you know, loving cars, loving sim racing, that sort of thing, but building up this clientele, selling to more businesses, people, that sort of thing. We still haven't had any people who are really interested in drifting. So if you yourself or know people or businesses who like drifting and want a turnkey, hit me up. You know, you don't got to build anything. It just shows up to your door with myself and my team to help assemble it and teach you how to use it and even give you a drift lesson. I still love drifting. If you follow me on Instagram, you see I'm not really posting too much there. I'm starting to get back into it. But I've been working on racecraft a little bit, learning how to race, just because every single person I've talked to in terms of like who's buying stuff is a race or like likes racing, not drifting, but racing, or may know of drifting, but doesn't really care for it too much. I just want to show this on these rigs, and I'm pretty happy about it, is, you know, we got the BDH shifter, you know, oh yeah, that's good stuff right there. We got the BDH shifter that is money, absolutely awesome, but we also have a SimMagic TB1 handbrake, because this is not only going to be for racing, NASCAR, you know, all the above in terms of normal motorsports principles, I guess normal, but also drifting, which in a public space is super cool, that a, you know, business is wanting to incorporate drifting into, you know, a pay-to-play system. I think that's really cool that they're adapting to it. At the end of the day, I'm really grateful. We're going to continue to grow. Again, if you want a turnkey, if your friends want a turnkey, if you know any businesses or any people who have said they're looking for racing simulators or anything like that, feel free to send them my way. I love sim racing. I genuinely think it's the solution to become a better driver and, you know, have unlimited amounts of entertainment. I think sim racing is amazing, and I'm truly blessed. And I'm truly blessed to call this my job right now, to have the opportunity to, you know, build the things I love, racing simulators for people, for businesses, for whoever it may be. I want to continue to share that passion, to share the love for it, and, you know, reach as many people as possible when it comes to racing simulators. And doing it right, you know, not just throwing parts together and calling it a day, but, you know, making sure you're comfortable sitting in it and you're not, you know, your wrists don't hurt and you don't have, you know, and you can view into the virtual world correctly with proper field of view and all of this other stuff that's just so important in sim racing. So again, I don't mean to plug myself again, but you, a business, anyone you know, anywhere in the United States, we go anywhere in the US, wants a turnkey racing simulator, I would love the opportunity to do something. Anywho, thank you so much for watching this video. Sorry about the last 5 minutes kind of being all, you know, emotional in a way, but I truly wanted to hop on here and just say thank you for what I've been able to do, because without you watching at home, none of this would have been possible. So with that, thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll catch you in the next one. Take care.